Guam Fire Department has 251 uniformed personnel on its payroll, but according to Fire Chief Joey Nicolas, those numbers are depleting.
I'm losing a lot of personnel due to deployment and attrition, and in the future we project a few more.
Nicolas says 25 of his firefighters who serve in the military are currently deployed, with an additional 9 set to leave by the end of the month.
At this point, we're just meeting the standards. Without the hiring, I just may be faced with shutting down services in certain villages. The only solution is to hire.
The fire chief says that's why Bill 421 was introduced this past week by Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. that would carry over expired enhanced 911 emergency reporting system funds to conduct a fire suppression and EMS recruitment cycle. In the interim, Nicolas says
fighting a fire requires a team of 4. So as we start to lose personnel through deployment or attrition, our capabilities diminish, and we lose one person that puts one fire truck out of service, which is a huge burden on our firefighters. The other plan is to just, instead of one fire truck responding to a house fire, it's going to require 2 to 3 at any given time, just purely for the manpower. We might be there equipment heavy, but manpower short, and until they're hired, it's the way we're going to have to do it.
Now, GFD isn't the only law enforcement agency feeling the crunch. Guam Police Department admits that they too have a shortage in precinct personnel, numbers totaling sometimes at just under a handful. GPD Captain Maurice Sayama says the force has 303 uniformed personnel, with 71 serving in the military. He says of that number, 21 are deployed.
We're buckling down, hunkering down, and we're doing more with less. We do depend a lot on the police reserves and the CAPE volunteers to kind of backfill those slots.
But Sayama says participation is low to backfill positions left by deployed police officers. As a result, police officers are forced to work longer hours with less manpower.
Work days without any days off to rest, no family time, no ways to kind of remove that stress from your body. Yeah, that all adds up, and then we start seeing officers getting sick, officers not at their fullest potential.
The stress level is one hurdle for GPD, who on average has less than 5 officers per shift working the precincts.
Studies have shown that we need to have a minimum of 40 officers per shift. Will we ever acquire that? I doubt it. But I believe that even 10 to 12 officers would be sufficient.
Until money is identified, it seems both GFD and GPD are left with scraping the bottom of the barrel just to keep operations afloat. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Nick Delgado.